Hello comrades, yes it's me, a Yorkshireman, now living in Wales. Power to the people. Hope everybody's okay. So today comrades I'm going to talk about a letter I sent a while ago to my 5 members of the Senedd. And Jane Dodds, Liberal Party, she decided to forward it to Rebecca Evans, which is fine. Rebecca Evans is the Labour Party, and I will keep telling you the political affiliation of all these people, because there seems to be a theme going on where they're not really disclosing who they represent, and I think that's so we tend to forget, and then you might vote for them by mistake at the next election. So this is a letter I sent out. You can stop it and do everything else, and the title is really what you're going to do with us all when they've done all of this. And I got the reply from Rebecca Evans eventually, and as you can see here it's dated 23rd of December. Now a little bit of a background is I looked at her profile on the Senedd page, and she loves history, and prior to that she worked in a third sector charity. Now her job is to do with economy, energy and planning. Now does history qualify you for that? I don't know. When I left school I ended up with something like a cycling proficiency badge, and I did well at saving people in the pool. Yes, we had a pool. I wasn't rich. It wasn't a rich school, it was Sir Schultz High School. Do a search and you'll see it's been knocked down, and the reputation was not good to say the least. Anyway, that's what I left school with, and a certificate of extended education in material science and 1 O level. Right, so could I do a better job? Is that to say, innit? But I could put myself forward and find out. Anyway, so what I've done is I've every time I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are on her reply, I've put it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so you can find it easy, and the full letter will also be displayed. Right, so the first thing is imposition of 20 miles an hour. According to her, it was all done by a democratic process. And all the other politicians, that's Conservatives, Lib Dems, Plaid Cymru and Welsh Labour, they all supported it. Now, the little bit for me which is interesting is what we've got is a version of democracy, which I think a lot of people are now discovering in the United Kingdom. And the version is no matter how many people object to it, the elected officials know better. They know better than any of us. So Wales, a great example, population 3.1 million people, 500,000 people said we don't want it. The elected officials basically said, you're stupid, you taxpayers, you are really stupid, you don't know what you're on about. However, history shows a lot of people know better than elected officials. Yeah, that's like a fact really, because we make better decisions based on facts, not based on some sort of vanity project or sort of ideology belief system there. And then the other thing what we now know is that it's all this thing about pushing the blame away to local authorities. We know that with 20 miles an hour, and this is a theme, and they're going to do it a lot more to us now. So that's number 1. Number 2, net zero policy. Well, according to her, this was all caused by the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Wrong answer. It actually started when you discovered, the politicians should I say, climate change, and they all started taxing us and putting our prices up to fight the climate agenda. Right, and then after that we had lockdown, and then in between all of this somewhere we then had the Suez Canal, and that are sort of, remember the tanker got blocked and we couldn't do anything, and now, only now, we've got the Ukraine war. Now good news is the Americans want to stop it. More interesting and baffling news are the European partners, political leaders seem to want to keep it going. You can't make it up, can you? Now I'm a peaceful bloke, I like peace. Why should you be dying for somebody else's issues? I don't believe in it. War, yeah, last resort. Peace, there's an option. Sit down, have a cup of tea and a chat. Right, on to number 3. Number 3, I put this up because it's about businesses and growth. And what they're saying is businesses are struggling, so we'll send someone round and tell you that you're bad for using fossil fuels. The idea and all of this is to shut down small businesses, because small businesses have free thought. Also, get everybody onto a smart meter, and then the government, in conjunction with state-supplied electricity, can just shut you down at a flick of a switch. Yes, this is not a conspiracy theory, this can be done. So it also goes on about Warm Homes programme, and this programme's been available now for about 30 years, different names. Number 4, allocation of public funds. She's trying to say that they have to have confidence We, the public, taxpayer public, have to have confidence in how funds are allocated. I have asked many times different charities, more so Sustrans, tell us what you're spending my money on. They say, no, that's it. So I have no confidence in them. And it's the same with internal government departments, they don't tell you what they're up to. Number 5, this is great, highlighted section, restore growth in our economy. I have seen nothing which says we're going to restore growth. Let me take you through the list. Tourist tax, yeah, that's not going to restore growth, is it? 20 miles an hour, fining people, that's like an extra tax, that's not going to happen, is it? Road charging scheme on its way. You're using wood, you're leaving smoke, taxation, fines. And the list goes on actually. Low emission zone, that's fining you for driving your car going, and then all this other taxes which they're going to impose on us. So no, there's no growth. And all I've seen is programmes designed to make us back and take us back in time. Now, given the fact that Rebecca Evans likes history, maybe that's the idea. Is her ideal thing is we go back into the 1960s, 30s and things like that, and further back, because that's where we're heading. And I think, for me, net zero means net zero growth. Simple as that. That's how I'm looking at it. And then number 6. They admit, she says, oh, pressures faced across all public services. However, they've still got to give themselves a 6% pay rise, didn't they, using our taxpayer money. So, so they're feeling okay. Let's see, when did I get a pay? No, I didn't get a pay rise, thank you. All I got was a pension I've already worked for. Did that go up 6%? No, it didn't. Right. And then we go on to my next one, number 7, rationing of the NHS services. According to her, I need to speak with the local provider. Right, again, this is another tactic. So despite the government setting all the funding, the Welsh Government setting all the funding, setting the strategy out, they're now saying it's not them. They're saying it's the local authority. Again, the new tactic. And then I go on to then about free speech, as you can see, number 8. So let me just take that onto my next slide. I asked the question, you are restricting free speech of the Welsh people. Her reply is, no, look at it, no, I can speak in the Senate. Nothing about me, nothing about you, the Welsh people, having posts restricted. And don't forget, United Kingdom now, if we say something wrong, we could be locked up for free speech, right? But according to her, it's not an issue because she only thinks about herself like all politicians. I suppose I could get locked up for saying that actually. However, I like evidence, and there's my freedom of information request, which says someone's speaking to Facebook about posts, but we don't know who. Right, don't make sense, does it really? Then go on to number 9. I put this up because it's just hilarious. The first highlighted section there, I have to read it out. Available on the relationships between ethnic minority people and environmental matters, and where there were evidence gaps. Yeah, my mind's blown, don't get that. And then it goes on, the next one goes on about low carbon heat. And again, I think that just means we're all going to be poor. Poverty is coming our way, thanks to the decisions made by the Welsh Labour Party. Number 10 is quite hilarious, because one of the members of the Senate who replied to me looked at this when I said, oh, you're doing away with boilers. He said, no, they can't do that because he's got oil heating in his house. Well, yeah, coming your way, mate. I'm going to do a separate video on what his reply said to me anyway. So yeah, they're going to accelerate out the fossil fuel boilers, which means again, well, want us on electric so they can control us, because we don't have freedoms then. This is their scheme. And then number 11, I'm going to do, this is around 15-minute cities. I'm going to do a separate video on that because it's sort of like, is interesting what they have to say about it. And then we come down to this bit, number 11. Bottom line here, there's no plans to introduce road charging. Now, if you read it carefully, there's like 4 words to say 2 words. No, to introduce user charging on the roads. And that's so we sort of miss it and we don't understand it. However, look, piece of legislation there they've introduced. And this was came through in the heathen budget. So, let's see. I think you're trying to mislead me there, Ms Evans. Again, the offer always stands. If you want to come and have a chat with me, more than happy to oblige. No time limit, anything goes, and see how we get on. all recorded of course, so I can do a video. Right, we then move on to the last one here, where they're trying to tell me, but they are transparent and a quality of application. No idea what that last one means, a quality of application. Don't know, but they're not transparent. I can't get money out, I can't get information about the rumination board. All their documents are redacted about private conversations with the members of the Senate, which is using our taxpayers' money. You can't make it up, can you? I'm of the opinion, if you're spending my money and everybody else's money, I need to know what you're doing with it, down to the last penny. It's as simple as that, down to the last penny. If not, then clearly you're hiding something. There's misuse or there's misappropriation of funds. That's my position on it, always has been. So they're not open. I can't get any information out of them. And if I do, then it's usually sent to me by a bit of a mistake. Right, and again, all I will turn around and say is they then go on about consultation. So 500,000 people turned around and said we don't want 20 miles an hour. They ignored it. Now, regarding the tourist tax, I've done a video on that. My calculation was they actually took action on only 16 people, but they ignored them people because they were quite negative. But they will try and tell you there was like 3,000 people interviewed. No, average they ever interview are people who are pressure groups and related to charities who we fund. Right, comrades, a little bit of a messy one there. Thank you for watching. Remember, tip subscribe because I'm still being shadow banned on Facebook. Thank you, comrades. Catch you on the other side.